Hey everyone, I'm Sarah with Fisher Price Ranch. First off, please subscribe and hit that notification bell for updates on our next videos. So since winter is officially coming, we have to harvest the rest of our garden.
Alright guys, so here is what is left of our garden. Whoops. And as you can see, it's still looking really nice, but in about 2 days it's gonna be all dead. So we're gonna have to do some harvesting on what we can, and then we're gonna pull it all and give it to the chickens, so it's not a complete waste. They at least get something out of it. But as you can see, our watermelon has died already. It's already froze, and quite a few of our tomatoes are looking pretty dead. So like I said, I think we're gonna harvest all our green tomatoes, and see, we've got some that are still trying to turn red, but I think we'll let them ripen on the vine in the house and hope that works. If not, then it goes to the chickens. And then I've got all of this catnip. There's so much. So we'll probably just chop everything down to the ground and harvest what we can. Alright, so our poor rosemary is that one right there. And it's already trying to die. So we definitely need to get it dug up and brought to the house so we can start watering it better. The ground just dries up so fast with the drought that we've been having. So we're going to get him in a pot. So we're just going to dig up some of the soil around it. This is all our soil that we've made. It's got sand, mostly goat manure, a little bit of topsoil, and whatever kind of mulch that was in the soil, and goat manure that we had. See, it's wet down low, but not very much up high, so this rosemary is definitely not happy. I do not have a shovel, so I'm just going to use this rake and just loosen the soil a bit. There we go. Hopefully I didn't upset him too much. Some extra soil for some support. Pull that weed out of there. There we go. Now we can get it brought in the house and get it watered. So I think that's the only plant that we're going to dig up. I think the rest of it we're just going to give to the chickens after harvesting what we can. Alright, so first we're going to harvest everything that we can. I just use scissors, and we're going to cut it at the vine so we can try and let them finish ripening. Now some of these are already too late. Like the fruit has already froze, but we'll just save what we can. Whatever doesn't ripen right, we'll just give back to the chickens. There's still a lot of tomatoes in here. Now these are all aromas. I don't know if that one's still good. tomatoes have already froze, so some of them may not turn out. I'm trying to keep all the good ones that we can. A lot of these ones have already died. They're already turning funny colors. A lot of them already just fallen off. Alright, so I think as for all this goes, I think it's done for. So now we'll go ahead and pull all these up. Ouch. Crazy root system they get. All this goes to the chickens. Here go chickens. Chickens, chick, 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 chick. Come on, girls. Come on, chickens. Yeah, they like all them tomatoes. What's left of them. All right. These are all of our cherry tomatoes. There's a lot of these. So once I get all these out of here, I'll come back through and find all the tomatoes that have dropped and give those all to the chickens as well. It's sad because they're still getting flowers. No. Crazy looking at it now. It's all bare without all them tomatoes. So I'm at the corner. We just pretty much have the corner, a little bit in there, a little bit in there, and the onions. Alright, so the harvesting of the tomatoes is done. And I knew it would take the longest because there's just so many. So I'm hoping that some of these, that's a lot of tomatoes, I'm hoping that some of these will ripen. I've got one red one going on there, some yellow ones in here. So hopefully we'll get lucky and be able to use some of this. Alright, so I actually noticed, which I didn't notice before, we got a cilantro that popped up. So I get to harvest that. smells good. And then we're going to harvest all of our basil here. So I'm pulling it because we're just going to hang it upside down and let them dry. I have so many seeds I'm not worried about collecting right now. Gotta make sure I'm not getting the vines that are crawling around in here. There we go. One more. A lot of vines this year, which I'm kind of surprised with all the dryness. They're growing all over everything, wrapping on themselves around everything. And then we got another kind here. Half of it's already dead, but I'll go ahead and pull this one and harvest it. I'll leave this out here because those may have already seeded or have seeds, and they'll just reseed themselves for next year. So I think that's it for this bed. But we've got all this basil and then that little bit of cilantro there. Alright, and then in this bed we have lettuce. So not a whole lot going on with these, but I'll pull them up. Use what we can. Have a salad tonight or something. This was my lettuce that popped up on its own in the spring, so we'll just leave that there, let it seed. Pull up all these little heads of lettuce. Should be able to do a nice good salad. There we go. It's a lot of lettuce. Good variety of mix too. Alright, so all that's left over there is the catnip. I think I'll come out and do that tomorrow. But all that's gone now. So now we have left are the onions. And we're just going to chop those right at the ground. I might leave the smaller ones that are a little further up because they might grow through this cold snap for a little while, but this big one needs trimmed down, so we'll just chop it at the base. And I save all the greens, and we make green onion powder for cooking. Or we dry up some chives also for cooking later. So I'll probably leave those little ones for future harvesting, I guess. And then we may pull up the bulbs in a little while. Well, this is our official harvest from the garden. So we got all our lettuce, basil, a little bit of cilantro, all our tomatoes, our green onions, And then the bottom of our onions, the bulbs. And then we had what was left of the good tomatoes that were ready there. So that is our harvest. It's the last time we get to harvest this year.
Alright, so that's the end of our garden for this year. I'll show you real quick all of our onions that we've harvested, but I guess everything's already been used up and we can't have anything until next year. So hopefully our rosemary survives, and anyway, we'll see you guys next time. All our onions that we're drying. So we'll crush these down into an onion powder or save them as chives that we can add into anything that we're cooking.